In the dim glow of her laptop screen, 24-year-old Emily Hart stared at the email that shattered her world. "You're under investigation for embezzling $500,000 from Apex Tech's client funds. Report to HR immediately." Her hands trembled as she refreshed the page, hoping it was a glitch, a nightmare. But the timestamp glared back, 2:47 a.m., sent from her own account. Except she hadn't sent it. Outside her cramped Brooklyn apartment, the New York City sirens wailed like a chorus of doom. Little did Emily know, this was no accident. It was the opening move in a meticulously crafted scheme by someone she trusted with her life. And in the cutthroat world of Silicon Alley startups, trust was the deadliest currency. Emily had always been the golden girl of Apex Tech, a rising star in the male-dominated fintech scene. Fresh out of NYU with a degree in computer science, she'd clawed her way from intern to lead developer in just 2 years. Her code was poetry, elegant algorithms that streamlined billions in transactions for Wall Street giants. But success bred envy, and in the glass-walled offices overlooking the Hudson, shadows lurked behind every handshake. It started innocently enough. 6 months earlier, Emily had befriended Victoria Lang, a sharp-tongued senior executive in her mid-30s, with a wardrobe straight out of Vogue and a resume that screamed, power player. Victoria had taken Emily under her wing, mentoring her through late-night coding sessions and introducing her to the elite circles of tech conferences in San Francisco and Austin. "You're like the sister I never had," Victoria would say, clinking champagne glasses at rooftop parties. Emily, orphaned young and raised by a no-nonsense aunt in Queens, soaked it up like rain in a drought. For the first time, she felt seen, valued beyond her keystrokes. But beneath Victoria's polished facade was a storm of resentment. Unbeknownst to Emily, Victoria was drowning in debt, lavish Hamptons weekends, a secret gambling habit fueled by high-stakes poker games in Atlantic City. Apex's board was eyeing her for promotion to VP, but whispers, the setup was masterful. Victoria had hacked into Emily's work credentials using a phishing email disguised as a routine security update, ironic, since Emily had warned the team about such vulnerabilities just weeks before. Over months, Victoria funneled small sums from client accounts into offshore shells, timestamping the transactions to match Emily's login sessions. She planted digital breadcrumbs, forged emails, altered server logs, even a burner phone hidden in Emily's desk drawer with incriminating texts. The coup de grace? A fabricated confession email, auto-scheduled from Emily's IP address while she slept off a grueling all-night. The morning after that fateful email, Emily's world imploded. She arrived at Apex's sleek midtown headquarters to find security flanking the elevators. HR Director Mark Reynolds, a stern man with a perpetual frown, ushered her into a windowless conference room. "Emily, this is serious. The FBI's involved. Wire fraud across state lines, that's federal time." He slid a folder across the table, screenshots of transactions, all traced to her. Her heart pounded like a war drum. "This isn't me," she stammered. "Someone's setting me up." But doubt crept in like fog over the East River. Who would believe her? She had no alibi for half the timestamps, solitary coding marathons in her apartment. Her colleagues, once allies, averted their eyes in the hallways. Social media erupted, #ApexScandal trending on X, anonymous posts painting her as a greedy millennial hacker. Tech's new Elizabeth Holmes? One viral thread sneered. Emily's phone buzzed incessantly, reporters from CNBC, friends turning foe. Even her aunt, battling health issues back in Queens, called in tears, "What have you done, Emmy?" Isolated and desperate, Emily holed up in her apartment, the city that never sleeps now a prison of paranoia. She pawned her laptop for a cheap burner and dove into the dark web, teaching herself forensics tools she'd only skimmed in college. Nights blurred into days as she pored over Apex's public APIs, cross-referencing timestamps with her own activity logs. A pattern emerged, subtle anomalies in the metadata, like IP bounces from a VPN server in Las Vegas. Las Vegas? Victoria had mentioned a business trip there last month. Suspicion ignited into obsession. Emily tailed Victoria discreetly, subway rides to her Upper East Side brownstone, coffee runs where she overheard snippets of tense phone calls. The money's secure. No, she won't trace it. One rainy evening, posing as a delivery driver, Emily slipped into Victoria's building and rifled through her mailbox. Amid junk mail, a statement from a Cayman Islands bank caught her eye, deposits matching the embezzled amounts. But it wasn't enough. She needed irrefutable proof. The turning point came during Apex's annual gala at the Met Museum, a glittering affair of tuxedos and tech titans. Emily crashed it in a borrowed gown, her heart racing as she blended into the crowd. Victoria was there, schmoozing with board members, her laugh like shattered glass. Emily cornered her in the ladies' room, feigning vulnerability. "Vic, I need your help. They're saying I did this, but I swear." Victoria's eyes flickered with feigned sympathy. "Oh, honey, it's awful. But you have to fight it." As they hugged, Emily palmed Victoria's phone from her clutch, a risky move born of desperation. Back home, she cracked the passcode, Victoria's birthday, predictably vain, and uncovered a treasure trove, encrypted chats with a shady fixer named Rocco, a former IT guy with mob ties from Jersey. "Frame the kid good," one message read. "Make sure it sticks." Attachments included altered code snippets, Emily's own work, twisted to incriminate her. But Victoria was no amateur. She noticed the missing phone within hours and spun into action. Emily awoke to pounding on her door, NYPD officers with a search warrant. Anonymous tip about stolen property, they barked, tossing her apartment. They found nothing. The phone was already wiped and ditched in the Hudson, but the raid rattled her. Paranoia peaked. Was that shadow in the alley Victoria's hired muscle? A suspicious car idling outside her building? Emily knew she couldn't go to the authorities yet. Victoria had friends in high places, including a cousin at the DA's office. Instead, she went underground, crashing on a college friend's couch in Brooklyn Heights. There, she built her counterattack. Using free library Wi-Fi, she reverse-engineered Victoria's hacks, creating a digital trail that looped back to her mentor's devices. She anonymously leaked teasers to tech blogs, subtle hints of a bigger scandal at Apex, without naming names. The buzz grew. #Apex Inside Job trending, stock prices dipping. The suspense thickened when Victoria confronted her directly. A late-night call. "Emily, darling, let's meet. Central Park, tomorrow at dawn. I can help clear this up." Emily agreed, but not without backup, a hidden recorder and a pepper spray keychain. The park was eerie in the pre-dawn mist, joggers scarce. Victoria appeared, elegant as ever, but her eyes were steel. "You think you can outsmart me? I made you." The confession spilled like venom. Victoria admitted it all. The debts, the jealousy, the frame job. "You were too perfect too fast. I deserved that VP spot." But as Emily pressed record, Victoria lunged, grabbing for the device. A scuffle ensued, leaves crunching underfoot. Emily fought back, years of self-defense classes from her rough Queens upbringing paying off. She subdued Victoria just as park rangers, tipped off by Emily's friend, arrived. The flip was poetic. Emily turned the recording over to the FBI, along with her forensic dossier. Investigations unraveled Victoria's web. The fixer Rocco flipped for a plea deal, exposing bank records and witness testimonies. Apex's board, desperate to salvage their reputation, fired Victoria on the spot. Charges flew: wire fraud, identity theft, conspiracy. Victoria's trial became a media circus, splashed across the New York Times and CNN. Mentor turns monster, the betrayal that rocked fintech. Emily's name was cleared in a blaze of vindication. The FBI commended her sleuthing. Apex offered her a promotion to head of cybersecurity, with a fat bonus to boot. But revenge tasted bittersweet. She testified against Victoria, staring down her former friend in a Manhattan courtroom packed with reporters. "She taught me everything," Emily said on the stand, voice steady. "Including how to spot a liar." Months later, Emily stood on the Brooklyn Bridge at sunset, the city skyline a testament to her resilience. She'd started a nonprofit for young women in tech, mentoring them on digital safety and spotting red flags in cutthroat industries. Victoria? Rotting in a federal prison.